Are second-hand plasmas still worth buying? Let's dive straight into it. Don't forget, if you're choosing the video today, there are links in the description below for the best place to get those home cinema products, so make sure you check those out at the end of this video. Also, today we're going to be checking out a plasma TV I picked up off Marketplace. Paid just over $200 for this plasma TV. It's a 50-inch or 51-inch, I'm not too sure until we get it opened. Apparently they bought this in 2012. They bought it for their guest room in their house. It's only been used by people that visited, and then they packed it away at the end of 2012, ready to move down from Queensland to SA. And apparently it's been boxed up in that crate since, and they never got around to putting it up in the guest room. They reckon it was a little bit too big, so they just kept it in the crate and totally forgot about it in the garage. It's meant to be full HD and 3D, and hopefully it's still working, and there's not too many watch time hours on it, but this would be great for DVDs. So let's jump in and check it out. So what we've got is a 50-inch plasma in a shipping crate by the looks of it. So let's get this uncrated, should I say, and see what we've got and if it's in good condition. Right, so I've lifted it on a table. It's not as heavy as the last plasma, so I'm assuming it's a 2011, 2012 plasma 3D TV. From the looks of it, it's a 50-inch wrapped in bubble wrap, and it's got some cling wrap around it as well, so it's really well packaged in that crate. Let's just get it unpacked, and hopefully the screen's not that cracked or damaged. So we're down to the final amount of bubble wrap. So looking at the back, it's a Samsung PS5 One E550. It was released in 2012, so that makes it 13 years old. So we'll see how good it is on the inside, and then we'll see how she works. So it's got the wall mount screws on there. There's no wall mount bracket, so I'm assuming it was wall mounted. So looking at the bottom left corner of the plasma, there is an on-off button here by the looks of it as well. And this here looks like an expansion port of some description. I'll have to research that. I have tried to undo it, but I can't see what's in there. So we'll find out that in a future video. But if you know what that's for, comment down below. From the right hand side of the plasma on the rear, which would be the left, we've got our aerial connection, we've got our LAN support. I'm not sure if this has got Wi-Fi built in. We've got a digital out, a digital in, we've got HDMI 1, and then we've got components AV, which is great for old gaming as well as playing DVDs. So you'll get that great quality off DVD if you've only got components on the back, or you can use HDMI if you want a HDMI upgrade it. On the side, we've got some more connections as well. So we've got a USB 5 volt connection, HDMI 2, HDMI 3, and a USB 5 volt connection as well here. So you should be able to connect to USBs and play movies, and I'm pretty sure you can record to USB with this if you're using digital television. Let's get this took apart and see how clean it is on the inside. So let's get the back off and see how many dust bunnies are in there. So the sticker on the inside says 2012 02 13, so it's the 13th of Feb 2012 this was actually built. So that makes this 13 years old. Also, comparing it to the last plasma I took apart, there's a little bit less in here. It's not as heavy, so there's a lot less metal in here in the frame. It's not as weak as an LED when I picked it up. Obviously I'm not going to try and lift it up with the screen now. When we put it back on, we'll see how the screen is, if there's any cracks in it or any damage. But looking at this at the moment, it's pretty spotless inside. So we'll just zoom in on all the different parts. On the main power board, a TC board, so it's got a timing control board as well. So it works a little bit like the LED. Got our two main speakers here. This is for the stand. It didn't come with a stand, it just came with the bracket bolts, and that was it. So we'll zoom in and have a look at the parts, and we'll blow a bit of air over it and see if any dust blows out of it. So it's the main input and output board. That looks pretty clean, so let's run some air across that. Nothing. We've got our main power board. Nothing. Shooting across the other side, we've got another board as well. Looks like more power as well. Nothing coming out of there. So I'm looking at what I'm assuming is one of the control boards with loads of power on there. There's loads of capacitors on there. The capacitors look spotless. Looking at the four on the top, there's no dust on there. There's nothing actually on there. So this is pretty clean. Just run my finger along. It's minimal what's in there. There's nothing, absolutely minimal. Right, so looking at these capacitors, I'm not going to touch any of them. Obviously I don't know how, it's been years since we've been plugged in, but I'm still not that brave. None of these are swollen. There's no dust on there whatsoever. That is pretty clean. There's nothing in there. Normally on the leads you get dust. There's absolutely nothing. So that is a pretty spotless board. Shooting across to the other board, this has had not a lot of use at all from what I can see. Assuming there's no real dust where it was, or it was well vacuumed when it was being used. You can see all the capacitors. None of the capacitors have got any dust on the top. Tiny little bit on that one, but nothing. Well, none of them are swollen, none of them are blown. Absolutely spotless. And then we've got our main input board. As we zoom back, we can see slowly that there's absolutely nothing on there. And here we've got a timing control board, but that looks spotless as well. Tops of the speakers where you expect to get dust, there's nothing there, and there's nothing on the left speaker either. Inside the back's really clean. I'll zoom in and show you each part. So this is the ledge on the left hand side internally. Marginal, absolutely marginal what's in there, barely anything. This is the power side. You can see it's minimal what's in there. There is a bit of dust, it has been used, but not to some major extent. And then there's the top of the plasma. You can see there's nothing, absolutely nothing. Let's get the back attached and then we'll power it up and see if she works. So looking at the TV's pretty mint. There's no cracks on the screen, no damage. It was packaged really well in that crate. Whoever packed it did a fantastic job. Obviously we've got to find out how many hours of watch time are on it. It was in a spare room, as I said earlier. So they bought it for a guest room just for visitors, so it's only been used when visitors came, and they packed it away about 8 months later, put it in the crate, and then they were moving down to SA. It's been in that crate since. So I can't see any damage apart from this bit, and it's not chipped or anything, so I don't know if the stains just come off the bezel on the edge. It's just got those little marks that you can see on the right hand side, but other than that the rest of it is black all the way around, so it's just a bit weird, that defect right there, as you can see. And it's still got the energy sticker on there from 2012, 5-star rating, which was probably pretty good back then. I'm not sure how hot this is going to get, but we'll find out once we get it running. So get this connected, get up and running, check the watch time and see if it's had as minimum use as they said. So let's see if she turns on. Turn her on. Smart TV. So it came with the remote, so to access the menu you've got to go info, menu, mute and off, and that will bring up your service menu, and the service menu should appear. There we go. So we've got the service menu up, nearly 15 years old. So the date of purchase was the 14th of the 4th 2012, and we're going to go down to service, and that should give us the watch time. Wow. And we can see why it is so clean inside. The panel display time is 5 hours. Right, so we're going to run this for the DVD at the moment. So we're running Robin Hood Prince of Thieves, and this is the NTSC version, so region 1. And you can just see the quality of the playback by just playing it on a 1080p plasma TV. So I'm just going to the scene selection. I'll pick a scene, and you can see the actual main title menu just looks pretty awesome. Just shows you the difference that it makes watching it on a HD TV compared to 4K TV. Go to scene selection. Obviously you get a bit of flicker on there, that's actually the camera picking that up, the TV screen, it looks perfect. This is quite a fast scene, so we see the motion flow is superb. There's no glitching on it on fast scenes. And it just looks 10 times better watching it on a HD plasma TV compared to a 4K TV playing a DVD. As you can see, that plasma TV is amazing. There's that little bit of damage. It's not really damaged, it's not bashed, but it does look like it's cracked and it's not. It must be the heat from being in that crate and it's just peeled some of the black off there. Couldn't really tell, and it just looks like there's just bits missing. Other than that, it works great. The picture quality is fantastic. The black levels are awesome. The only downer is the apps don't work anymore. It will connect to the internet. Obviously, I'm going to probably have to just use a dongle. It won't update either. I did Google it, and Samsung have stopped sending updates to any TVs less than 2014, 2013, I think. So this won't be getting any more updates from Samsung. So we'll get a Fire Stick for it so you can connect to the internet. So you can still use it that way. Other than that, it'd be great for gaming. Black levels are absolutely awesome, as you've seen from the Robin Hood scene. So there's no motion blur on it. It works great. It's a lot better than a 4K TV for anything that's got something moving quickly across the screen. You're not going to get motion blur with plasmas, and they were just awesome for that. Obviously, it throws out a little bit of heat, not as much heat as what the 720p one did, and it is a lot lighter. I could pick this up on my own, and there's no handles in the back because you don't need handles in the back because it isn't that heavy, which was quite surprising for a 2012 model compared to the 2007. So I'm really impressed. Comment down below whether it's worth the $200. I think with the 5 hours of watch time on there, I think it was. Obviously the caps look fine. How long they're gonna last because they've been in storage, I don't know. And I just thought it was worth diving into this and jumping on it before someone else clocked it. I've got a plasma TV that's gonna last me a fair few years, hopefully. So I'd like to thank you for watching. Keep supporting physical media, and I'll catch you in the next one.